So it's Dan Blake here for the Sports with Blake podcast, and I'm here with the legendary man himself, part of Team Usyk, Russ Anber. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good, really good to see you.
This is not
today.
our first interview. We've done this before.
You know what? It is actually our first interview. Maybe
No.
I look like somebody.
No, you've spoken to me before.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Tottenham
Okay.
Hotspur.
No, it wasn't me, you know. It's someone, a lookalike. There's a lookalike out there.
There's a
You know?
lookalike.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lookalike.
yeah, really. Okay.
Good to see you anyway. So what do you think this Wilder and Derek Chisora fight will represent 10 years down the line?
Oh, how do I know? I don't have a crystal ball to see what it's going to be in 10 years' time. I mean, it depends how the fight goes. I think it says a lot for both guys. I think both guys are stepping up and taking a dangerous fight. Both of them are putting themselves in a position of danger. Two devastating punchers. I think it has the makings of being a great fight. And when has either one of them been involved in a bad fight or a boring fight, win, lose, or draw? You think you're going to get that Saturday night? No, you're going to get a fight. You're going to get war.
And when they're talking about war, when the going gets tough in this fight, and it's really getting on top between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder, who do you think's going to break first?
I think it could be the first one who lands, right? And I think that's what makes the fight interesting, and I think both of them instinctively try to do that. They try to end it with one shot. Certainly Wilder does, and that's been his trademark throughout his career. And I don't care how old he gets or what he does, or he's always going to have that devastating right hand, and that's something that Chisora and any other fighter is going to have to be careful of. And if you've seen, even in the fights where Deontay has lost, the opponents have been very, very wary of that right hand and have stayed away from it, and that's how they were able to get victory, by staying away from the most dangerous thing that Wilder possesses. So, that's Chisora is going to have to do the same thing.
And with this last question, with this fight here, do you think the winner has to win the fight regular or make a statement? What is it about, winning or making a statement with this fight?
I'm not sure that you could win this fight. I'd be really surprised if you could win this fight without making a statement. Like how? How are you going? What are you going to sneak? Is it going to be a shitty fight where they're just grabbing each other? I don't think so. That's not the style of either guy. So I doubt that that's what's going to happen. So I think the winner makes a statement, because I think he wins in impressive fashion. I think, if this thing goes down to being an exciting fight where both guys are exchanging bombs and it goes to a decision, that's going to be a great result, regardless of who wins. And if it's a knockout, it's going to be a great result for whoever wins. So, yeah, I can't see it being any other thing but a statement fight.
And Russ, and what are you up to at the moment, man? What's going on with you? What's happening with you?
Well, I'm actually happily visiting the UK for the next 3 weeks because I got this fight, and then I've got two fighters on the undercard, including Fraser Clark and Mikey Talon, on the undercard of the Tyson Fury Makhmudov fight next week, and then leave London and go to Liverpool for Callum Smith, so against David Morrell. So I got 3 weeks in the UK. I'm really happy about that.
And one last one on Usyk. What do you think? Usyk is going to be retiring soon. He's got a couple of more years in the game. What do you think his lasting legacy is going to be when you think of Oleksandr Usyk?
Well, right now, I think he's arguably among the greatest heavyweights that ever lived. And I'll ask you a question. You're doing I'll ask you a question now. There's three guys in the history of boxing that I think would have been a slight odds-on favorite to beat Usyk. Who are they?
I'll go with I got Lennox.
Good.
Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson.
I wouldn't make him an odds-on favorite again. If as a betting guy, you might make 50-50, might be even money, but you wouldn't necessarily say odds-on favorite, I think, but go on.
And I'll go with Ali.
Okay, I agree, Ali and Lennox, you might make them I think the third guy would have been Larry Holmes.
Oh, that's a good one. Larry Holmes is a good one.
I think Larry Holmes would have been that would have been tough. Guy with speed, had some bounce, boom. He's doing that all night. That could have been a problem. So I think that's the legacy he leaves. He's one of the greatest heavyweights that ever lived, and I think you put him in with the Rocky Marcianos, the Joe Lewises, everything. I think he's going to be a problem for any heavyweight in the history of boxing.
Russ, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, man.
My pleasure.